Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. You are here with me, Rashida, the host of this lovely, fine channel, and Shar Wynter. We are so excited to have, I always say we, it's the
Yeah,
royal we.
I'm
So
excited.
excited to have Shar here. Shar is a friend of the channel, friend of mine, friend of Exit Summit. And I'm so excited to have her here today with us because we are talking all things moving abroad. We're
Yeah.
talking about some exciting things coming up and community. So let's get it. Let's get it. Hi, Shar.
Well, hello. Happy to be here, and also love Exodus Summit. Like I said, one of my favorite groups and most active groups. So you all are not already a part of it. What are you doing?
Come on down. All
Great.
right. Shar, can you introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Shar Wynter. I'm the founder and creator of the Xpat App and the Expat Chats. It's the world's largest global directory of Black expats, nomads, and study abroad students. So we recently reached over 21K members, and we have representation from over 160 different countries. So I am a two-time expat, previously lived in London. I'm now living in Portugal and Lisbon for the last 4 years, and originally from Detroit. And my family is from Jamaica. So just give us some background in case people are curious and have questions related to those things. Oh, and a proud Spelman alum as well.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
I have so much HBCU pride. It's just like, it's really, yeah, it's a great experience. Really great experience.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, Shar, you're in Portugal now?
Yes. Been here over 4 years so far.
You know what? I just remembered what I wanted to talk to you about like last year. It just dawned on me. It's not a topic at all.
No,
But
go ahead. Yeah, we have time. We have time.
you bought a piece of property there, right?
Yes, it's been a saving grace. I had to fight for my life for this place. Nothing fancy, but I love my place.
Uh-huh.
In Lisbon, I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was remodeled. So not brand new, but it's remodeled. They redid plumbing and all the stuff, water, well, that's plumbing, and what's the other electrical, all those things. So anyone who lives abroad in Europe knows how old these buildings are and how important that is. So yeah, I'm very happy with the purchase.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get Shar on my channel to talk about how she bought
Oh,
this
I have
place.
words.
But we have been like
Yeah, because even when you come out here, I've missed you. I've missed a lot of people actually. Because Stephanie was Stephanie out here with when you came. Did you all come?
yeah, we came together.
I miss both of you all. And yeah, have never met in person, but it'll happen. Because
Yes.
you were going to Vietnam, right?
Okay, so
Mhm. I'm not.
Stephanie
Yeah.
and some women from Exodus are going to Vietnam. And I've been
Mhm.
saying, I'm not going. But I was going to tell people today that I actually have a ticket now.
Ah, no, okay.
So
Wait, have you been before?
I have and I hated it.
Okay. For me, it's 10 out of 10. I literally just got back in December. 10 out
Where
of
did you go in Vietnam?
10. I started in Hanoi and
Huh?
then Da Nang and then Hoi An
Okay.
and then Ho Chi Minh.
Okay.
Out of all of them, Hoi An, my favorite.
So that's where that's where we're going this time. We're going to Hoi
Oh,
An.
it's a
So when
Where
I
did you?
went to, I think Hanoi was where I went when I got robbed.
Oh no! Whoa. Okay.
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 Uh, and so I had a flight booked to Da Nang,
Mhm.
and I had a hotel already prepaid in Da Nang. I didn't have
Mhm.
credit cards. I didn't have cash. I didn't have anything. And so I had plans to go to Hoi An, but I couldn't make it to Hoi An because, like, I had
Mhm.
people Western Union me money, but you know what I mean. It wasn't enough to like do
Yeah.
things. And so this time I'm going back to Hoi An. I'm flying in. The plan is to fly into Da Nang to miss the big cities because Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh were not for me.
You said no.
Early, but that's not for me. It's not.
I loved my experience everywhere, but
Mm.
I think part of it was because I had a combo solo and my friend came, my best friend. came out to part. So I love solo travel. It's like essential. And then I really like my friend Khaleesi is like my favorite travel buddy, like, 'cause she's just so easy to travel with. And so it was like getting the balance of both because she is a planner. I'm not. I'm literally buying my tickets outside of the main ticket, right?
Right.
Literally booking hotels and buying my tickets the night before, like less than 24 hours. Foolery. Because I knew I was going to be there. It's my 40th birthday. So it's
I
just, but that's where I live. But when I'm with my friend, they, they do all this planning. I'm like, wow, this is a really dope itinerary.
like, I'll go along.
Yeah.
I have a rule when I'm traveling that I need to know where I'm spending the night tomorrow. So as long as I know where I'm spending the night tomorrow, like I have it booked already. Like if I have a booking for tomorrow, I'm good. Other than that, let it fly.
Because I like to leave it open. You don't know how you're gonna feel. And I don't like commitment to things like that. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. What if I come across something amazing and I've already committed to do this thing? So like even like my favorite experience there was I did the cruise along Halong Bay.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It was so, and because I booked last minute, though, I could only do the day cruise, not the overnight.
Okay.
It was so worth the money. It was so great. Like, I can get the name of the cruise too, because I don't know how far, you know what I mean? I left out of Hanoi to do that, but from the night we may be able to still, well, I'm not sure timing wise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, anyone else who's going, like, some people go to multiple cities, while they're doing this trip. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out because after the summit, because I need to get through the summit. After the summit, feel free to reach out. I can share the name of the cruise that I went on because they were so good. Like,
Good.
Yeah, I might even try to find them while I'm on.
A bunch of people in the
name, yeah.
A bunch of people in the comments are going to be in Vietnam. So, hi,
Yeah.
everyone. I'll see you there.
Yes. Very experience.
I'm excited. Okay, but y'all, we are 5 minutes in and we haven't even said hello to the topic we want to talk about.
It's okay.
Which is the summit you're planning. And actually, I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about it under the concept of community. Because you are the first person I know who was like, I want to create an app, and actually created the app. Some people say, like, I want to make an app, but I don't actually see the end result. But you created an app for Black expats living outside of the US.
Yeah. And anywhere. It's global. It's actually nationality agnostic, meaning it doesn't matter where you're from as long as you identify as, I use the term Black pretty loosely, but I mean from the diaspora, right? And people actually from the continent as well who are living abroad. So, and I used to wear expat pretty loosely too. So I know it's a little point of contention with the word, but for me, I just mean if you're living abroad, I understand there's nuance, but I'm just saying in general, because I don't have time to sit there and put all the, caveats for what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Okay. So you created an app. What made you want to do that?
Oh, so I am a total nerd and data geek. And as I was living abroad the first time, I was finding all these great communities, but they were really siloed. So, like, to give you an example, it's like a group chat for London, a group chat for women who like to travel. And I'm like, I need a directory because I need some organization here. Like, how would I know? Like, some of the groups I would find out about was called like Brothers and Sisters of Abu Dhabi. How would I know to search for that? So, some are really explicit, like Black, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Other ones have these nuanced names, POC in Portugal. How would I know to search for that? So I decided, I was like, we just need a directory. And directory, you'd be able to type in the location and then it pulls up the communities and pulls up the people. Because even like No Madness, it's an excellent group. That's one of my favorite travel groups, right? And this was like back when I was starting the app, and I was like, but there's no way for me to know who's in which country. You have to just so happen to post, put out the back signal, and hope that somebody sees it.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't we be a little bit more strategic and just have an app? No, we still need the groups, right? Because the groups are that they're actually engaging and giving out info. But that is, to me, like the purpose of it is literally a directory, like your one-stop shop to get started or to find things. I'm not trying to replace any of the groups because it's a lot of work. Anyone who I know, because you moderate communities. I just want people to be able to find the communities. Exodus Summit. How would you know to search for Exodus?
We never thought about that. We never literally because we didn't when we started. The idea wasn't that we were going to be a community. The idea was that it was like a one-time event.
Yeah.
On this thing, and
Into
that's it.
something.
So yeah,
That motivated it. And also my background is in technology consulting, but for banks. And one of my biggest projects, or time I spent, like most of my time, was working with financial service applications. So I had the knowledge. I just applied it to something that made sense to me, that I really cared about. So yeah, I just love, like, I'm just a total nerd. I love learning. I love exploring stuff, so for me, it was like, I can take my passion with the technical experience I have from like work, because I was working at Deloitte for 10 years, and that's what I was doing, all the tech consulting with the banks. And I can apply to something I actually care about, because, that was just to make money. But like doing this, I'm so like, I just love doing this because it's something I really care about. Because I'm like, man, our community just needs to know about the opportunities, because I know the interest is there.
yes,
I would just love to see more of us abroad, because I've just had all these amazing experiences, and I'm like, yo, this has significantly enhanced my life. I want more of us to feel this way and to have these opportunities. So yeah, I feel like, not to sound all like on a high, I'm just saying, I just feel divinely guided to do this work, because all my skills match with my passion. So it all makes sense to me.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I just opened the app because I was like, let me remember you. I always feel like there's more going on in the app than the directory, though. Like it's
Yeah,
evolved.
people are chatting, people are sharing resources, connecting offline. One of the things that I didn't know, because again, I use a third party as my actual developers, like the people doing the coding and stuff like that, right? Because I actually did try to build another app before this, but that did not happen. Lesson learned. Anyway, but the way it's set up, like, I can't read anyone's messages. Okay, the vendors have, but people were been telling me like, oh, I messaged someone, or I met this person. I'm like, I can't see any of that activity, so I sometimes don't even realize how much people are connecting on the app. But when they tell me and they share, it makes me really happy, because I'm like, okay, good to know. Because the post, may only get like a few likes or whatever, a few comments, but the actual, people are connecting, are meeting each other, they're finding these resources and communities, and sharing like remote job opportunities. Like, that type of stuff to me is really important, because you just never know. I remember, so Juanita, she is Dr. Juanita. She is down in Ghana. She's actually the founder of the first food incubator. She's one of our speakers as well. She shared an opportunity with me. I had the opportunity to go in Spain for a whole month, like go live in Spain for a month through a fellowship program.
Really?
That's huge for me, because there's only like, this was for all of Europe, and there were only like a few Black people. And I'm like, Europe got some Black people. Why are we not here? And it was for female entrepreneurs. So, these are type of things where I'm like, we just need to know about it. We need to do a better job at networking and sharing resources, so that we can get these opportunities. But that is called the Break Fellowship Program. They actually they didn't get their funding to continue it, beyond the 2 or 3 years, but it was a phenomenal experience. And
Okay.
yeah, and it's things like that. I'm like, we need to know about these things so that we can participate. And it's also part of why, as a part of the summit, I'm doing a pitch competition, because I want people to see what we're doing. I want angel investors to see. I want people who are venture capitalists, who can actually give us some money, to see what we're doing, and to know that we are interested in being abroad. Our lack of representation is not due to lack of interest. I think it's more due to lack of knowledge about the opportunity, and a little bit of lack of confidence to apply. So, yeah.
Let's back to the app for a second, because I want to talk about the pitch competition separately.
Yeah.
If you guys don't have the app, it's a great resource. Download it. It is XPAT. It's the Expat app, right?
Yeah, the Xpat app, and you can just search. You can even just search for Black, at least in the Apple Store. Ignore my reviews. I have a 4.9 in Apple and like a 3.6 in Google, because there was a bug with the date of birth. And people like tore me apart over it. I'm like, yeah, have some grace. It's literally one field. Like, come on. People don't realize how damaging it is. Huh?
It's a free app, right?
It is free.
So, like,
no, but people are like writing like, worst app ever, I can't sign up. I'm like, just put any date in the field if it's broken, and keep going through the rest of the process. Like, come on, like, give me a break. Like, if you can't do that, you probably should move abroad, because it's gonna be way more challenging than the date of birth field not working. So It's
The day
like,
of birth field not working being a reason to give you a low review is kind of
oh
crazy.
my God, it's so maddening. You can, but anyways, my true reviewers are in the Apple store where I have my 4.9. Because it was yeah, like I said, it was just a bug and it took me a while to fix it because I was dealing with personal life. So
Mhm.
yeah, but we got it fixed. So hopefully you all don't have any issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get on there. Get on there. Because there's a lot going on. Okay. So you created the app. And how long ago did you create? How long ago was it like available to the public?
Oh, we launched on New Year's Eve 2020. So New Year's is also my sister's birthday. So it's a special date for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, New Year's Eve, 2020. So yeah. And I remember telling my sister, I was like, this was when I was actually going through building it out and all that, doing all the design and stuff, because you still, even though someone might be writing the code so it can actually function, like when you click this button, this happens, you still have to do the graphics and all that other stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
so I was going through, I had all my little sticky notes. I was like organizing how everything would look. And my sister came down. I was at my mom's house at the time. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm about to launch an app." And she's just laughing. And I was like, "No, seriously, I'm about to launch an app." And then I was like, "Man, if I launch this app before the end of the year, you ain't gonna be able to tell me anything." So I'm over there. And my niece was like, "You're not launching no app. You're not launching no app." So
Oh, a
okay,
challenge. Yes. Okay. We
I
see
just
it.
tested it. Actually got my niece involved in the process and she tested it for me
Mhm.
and very quickly realized my niece is smarter than most adults. So her testing, she was able to use the app all seamlessly. People
Mhm.
were, when it first came out, was like, "Oh, I can't do this, can't do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I need to test it on with someone else, not my niece.
Yes.
But when I finally launched it in the app, because you have to submit it first, and they denied it. Long story about that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to talk publicly about that, but just know, y'all, we deal with so much as Black founders. I don't think anyone can really say it, put it in words, the magnitude of the challenges we face, because you got to think about the people who work at these companies and someone who it gets to decide whether or not my app gets to get put on the app store, being like maybe a supporter of someone who doesn't, believe in equality for the people. And literally just denying my app. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like we deal with a lot. So that happened. So I had put it out before on my birthday, which was the 16th of December. Well, try to. And then it got denied. And then I had to work with the developers, we had to do some stuff, change the name of the developer and all that stuff just to get it approved. And then we changed it back to my name. So yeah, it was really but it launched, see, like I said, New Year's Eve at like I publicly was able to share like 11:45 p.m. It was like down to the wire. I was like,
Aw.
"I'm gonna launch in 2020." I don't know, it's just a personal goal I had. And it actually happened. So yeah, I
That's
was
amazing.
really, really, really happy. Yeah, because it was just, I mean, like I said, it's bringing all my passions together in a way that it just feels organic to me. Like, yeah, of course I should be doing this. So,
Good. 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 Okay. So you launched the app.
mhm.
You What have you seen develop over time with the people using the app? Like what are some trends you're seeing?
Oh man. So one of the biggest things is whenever there is a big event in the US, because although it's nationality agnostic and available to everyone, it's very US centric because
Mhm.
I'm from the US. So it's obviously mostly my network, right? To start. We always get a rush after, Roe versus Wade was overturned, after George Floyd, well, George Floyd happened. I'm just saying, like, like the wave of it comes after these events. And I
Mhm.
know most people are like, "Oh, that's awesome for your app." I'm like, it's really not. The reactionary people who are just like, they normally eventually turn a little bit, what's the right word to use? Almost like a little bitter towards the people who've actually already moved abroad, because it was like, I'm just getting on here because I'm upset, but I really wasn't thinking about this before this event happened. And then it dies, it fizzles down, right? And then people go back to their normal lives, but they're on this app with people who are moving abroad and living abroad. And sometimes there's like a little cattiness. So it's like that part is hard. So I try my best to keep our app positive, because I'm just a solution focused person. So like, yeah, I'm going to acknowledge, okay, stuff is hard. All right, well, what are we going to do about it? Because you can't just sit in the problem all day. So one of the things when you say like what I've seen is just it's very hard to keep the morale up in these communities, because after these big events happen, like after George Floyd, there was all this influx, all this energy, even talk about sponsors, right? People being willing to fund and support our initiatives for the Black community. And now you can't get a dollar, you can't get a penny from any sponsors and other things. So it's like trends, when trends happen and people are all excited and on board or whatever, but then reality starts to settle in, and you got to still manage that energy, and you got to still keep people motivated. And so one of the reasons why I am excited about the summit is because for me, I'm like, I know that for some people it feels such a daunting task. 4 years have passed and they're like, oh, 4 years ago I thought I was going to be, gone by now. I'm like, it only takes one moment to actually change your life. Like, you don't have to always make these huge gigantic steps. Sometimes it's the little decision, like investing in a coach, investing in a class, getting your passport, getting your birth certificates for your parents and grandparents, and realizing, oh, you may have access to dual citizenship. Educating yourself. Like, it's these small steps that can really open up the world of opportunity for you. And so I just want to like re-energize our community. And I strategically placed the summit during inauguration weekend because I know the power of energy focus. And one thing we cannot do is we need to keep ourselves focused. Do not get distracted. Do not get discouraged. There is a way forward and upward and onward. So like, just the changes have motivated me to be a little bit more intentional. I'll just say that, because that's really what you have to do in this space. It's really easy to lose momentum. So
Yes.
And I don't know if you all have seen, like, through the evolution of your Exodus summits change over the years, right? In the energy around it. Because maybe in 2020, like, oh, everyone was energized. People were remote. So, they had time to be on these summits and stuff like that. And by the time now, where we're moving away from being remote, and people that physically have to be in the office and maybe don't have the luxury of free time to, watch a summit, I don't know if that you all have seen changes as well.
So for us, because we built our core audience when we were remote and they had free time, or they ignored their jobs easily. It was we still have some of that core audience. Some of them are abroad, some of them are still at home, wherever home is. But I will say that the thing you said, and so we see an evolution in like who's coming in, but also because we have the community year long, we really try to foster people within the Facebook group to understand what's happening, right? And like to give us grace if something happens, because we're not like, you can always tell when someone's new, like when someone is like fresh, never done this before.
No, my question.
Like they can't. A woman signed up under one email address. And was logging in under a different email address. And when I was like, what email address do you use to sign up? She gave me a third email address. As I'm looking, I can't find her. There's no ticket with the different names every time too. Like a slight change of a name, like the first name, the name, the first name spelled differently every time. I was like, I can't find you in the system. And she like, you can tell when they're new because it goes immediately to like scammer. You're just out here stealing money. And I'm like, you don't know what email address
information. And it goes back to please read. Same thing with the app. People will say to me, I can't log in. And I'll say, well, same. I said, you have to email me from the email address that you used to sign up, because I cannot give you access. Even if you own both accounts, I don't know that. I can't give you access under this random email you're sending me to say I registered under this email address, but I don't have access anymore. Well, I don't know what to tell you because I can't give you access. That's a violation of the privacy in the agreement. I can't give you access. You have to message me from the email that your account is attached to. I can't do anything outside of that. So
it's weird because like what you said before about the election, the day after the election, Stephanie was like, we should do something for our community. So we got online, just kind of talk to people, see where their heads were. And a woman, also clearly not familiar, was like, I bet you guys are really happy now because it's great for your business. And I was like,
you don't understand.
That's not what my inbox looks like. My inbox is my business. My
A
inbox.
a lot of us, we make money separately from the community building. I'm being honest, y'all. This is not a money builder. It's more of a drain. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I do advisory work on the side. That's how I make my money. I do. Even with the summit, the money's going back to pay through affiliates like the speakers, and then the rest is going to the pitch competition. Like, if I wanted to do a money grab, I definitely want to do community building like this because it's a long game. People who are moving abroad, it's a long game. So, yeah, this is not I don't know how to explain that part, but I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions actually is that people assume if they see us traveling, living nice, and doing these things. I'm like, one, a lot of us had corporate jobs that, well, for me, I had a corporate job that provided this lifestyle. And two, I saved a ton. And three, I do consulting on the side, like advisory work on the side. I don't make my money from expat. I do make some money from speaking engagements, but it's not enough for the type of lifestyle I have. Just put it that way. So,
and the type of work it requires.
yeah, it's a lot of work actually. Yeah, so
crazy. Yeah. The are just like you. We had the influx of like, I have to move today.
No, not realistic. That's another thing.
I love y'all. I love y'all. But you don't have to move today.
Yeah.
To start you're planning today.
It could take
like
years.
Take some time.
Yeah, you don't have to move abroad overnight. I don't even want people putting that message out there. I mean, some people do it, but even for me, both of my moves abroad, I planned them. This was not, I saved for them. I planned for them. And what I mean by plan for them is I knew that I had to make some life adjustments because I was getting out of there, right? But I didn't leave as soon as the inkling came to leave because I knew that I'm very financially responsible, so I'm not a risky person with my money. So I was like, oh, let me make sure I have my finances together before I go abroad because we don't know what it holds abroad. I have no idea if I was gonna be able to find my own job or grow a business. I had no idea. So yeah, it wasn't an overnight. I don't want anyone, you might see the highlight reel of day 790. That is not the full picture. There's a lot of work and planning that happened and sacrifice beforehand. So don't let anyone tell you I moved abroad with $500 overnight. I'm sure you did.
And some people can and will, right?
Yeah.
But if you got to be ready to spend some, you're not necessarily going to end up in the trenches, but you got to be ready to pivot and possibly spend some time in the trenches if that's what you want to do. I've talked to women who are like, yes, I had money for rent and that was it, right?
Yeah.
And I moved and I made it work.
Yeah.
But the energy that, to your point, the energy that comes after negative events in the US is not a positive and sustainable energy.
That keyword, sustainable. Thank you for pointing that part out. And I'm not trying to be negative or look down or be condescending. I'm just stating, like, from, like I said, it's been like over 4 years now, and seeing the changes. And it is a bit exhausting for the community leaders because people actually think at the opposite, like, oh, this is great for your business. I'm like,
no. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's because like I said, it's a fleeting moment. And so what ends up happening is, you get a nice influx and you get the vanity metrics. Cool. Like, yes, that is a bonus. The vanity metrics, because they matter. It's a credibility thing. I won't sit here and lie to you and won't say that the reason I haven't deleted some people out of the app who are inactive is because I need the numbers, right? Because if I'm going to sponsors, they want to know how many people you have, right? They do want to know how many are active, but I'm just being transparent right now, right? 21K sounds a lot more than me saying 21K, but 12K are active. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's a very big difference. So, and that's just being transparent. So it's not something that you can't ignore in the world and the space we operate in, because when you're going for opportunities, some of them even have following limits to be qualified. So you can't really, just completely ignore that side of it. But a lot of it, some of those numbers come from those fleeting moments, the election, when there's changes in or overturning of, another liberty that we should have and things like that. So yeah, it is. But on the positive side, those influxes also have those people who would have never found you had
Yes.
it not been for that incident. And those are my people, and I love them because people be like, I never knew this app existed. And, because of the situation, it triggered them to go do the research. So I am grateful for those triggering moments in the sense that it sometimes opens up or activates someone to take action. Like, maybe I should start looking at other options outside of my home country. Yeah.
And that research helps them realize that it is available, right? It is a
Yeah.
possibility. And I love people realize it's a possibility.
Mhm.
But yeah, the day after something happens, I'd be like, let me not check the box because
Yeah.
they're gonna be stressing me out. It's always, y'all.
Yeah.
I love you. I mean it. If you've never interacted with us before, ever, sending a one-sentence email that ends with "I need you to call me" and a phone number ain't gonna get you anything you want.
I think that's wild also, because one of the things I was speaking to the speakers about, because we had a speaker orientation yesterday in preparation for the summit, I was like, please be aware and have boundaries, because when you go put yourself out there in these summits and platforms, sometimes what ends up happening is people assume you should be available to them and you owe them your time. And we have lives outside of all of this. Like, it's why we moved abroad in the first place. So,
Right.
and you never know what people are going through. I mean, like last year was an insane year for me. And I just, like, some of the messages I got, I was like, you're just going to get left on red because, no, seriously.
No,
You're just,
I feel you. There's something that happens when you're visible online where people think that like people want help and they think that you can help them. And there's a chance
can.
you can't.
I can. I
A lot
can.
of people want help in the way that they want help, not in the way we're offering help.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, we have a disconnect that I
Yeah.
won't. I'm sorry, like I can't.
Open is putting out the app, creating the directory, doing those expat chats, which I haven't done in a long time, and making sure that people, like, there's some visibility, because every now and then we'll do a campaign like Black Expat Month or thing. So to me, it's like, I feel like that's helping, right? Like, here's a resource, because I'm not a hand holder type of person. Everyone's different, right? And we have so many leaders in our community. We have some people who are amazing. They will literally have accountability meetings with you. I mean, you all have, ASAP, like everyone has their role that they play. My role is for all the people who are self-motivated, here goes the resources. Because I am behind, I have to be in front of the scenes just for the nature of the work to get put out there. But I am a behind the scenes database girly, like, the one, updating the database of where, expats live and stuff like that. That's what I like to do. But you have some people who are like, no, I'm your accountability partner. I'm going to have meetings with you every month or every week. I'm going to make sure you get help walking through your application for your visa. I'm going to make sure that you have a connection to the best lawyer to use. Like, and we need all of those people in our ecosystem, which is why one of the things I love the most about at least the community that I'm a part of, we collaborate and we share. We share. And I love that, because I know not every community is that way. Even you having me on your channel, right? Again, it's in a way where it's collaborative and supportive, and even people being able to promote their business on other people's channels. Like, I love that, because we all offer something different.
Yes.
Trust me. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Speaking of something different, we're gonna switch gears. We talked about the app. If you guys don't have it, let me know. By the way, I'm curious because you said it. Technical question, I guess. What is an active user versus an inactive user? Like how like
how would I? Well, one thing I cannot see, messaging, right? So someone could be active, but they're messaging private. So I don't have access to. But when people post, like, or somehow engage on the public things, because they can like share a post, because you can even share some of the posts. Some can be shared outside of our platform, right? So to me, active is like, just engaging with the content and reaching out to each other. But also, one of the things I wish would happen more on the app, when you find out about an opportunity that, could help other people, put in the app, post it. One of the biggest supporters, and she's been super helpful, Kahina, she'll be helping with the summit as well and speaking. Kahina posts remote opportunities all the time. I cannot tell you how helpful that is. And these are remote opportunities, because one of my biggest questions that we get is not just about, is so-and-so place safe, or is anyone in this country? One of the top questions is, how do I find a job? How do I find a remote opportunity? How are you all affording to live abroad?
Mhm.
Because one of the things that I do think that we could do a better job of as a community is explaining to people how we're making a living, so
Mhm.
that they understand the different pathways for making a living abroad, right? And it's different for everyone, because some people are looking for like remote work, you know, based in their home country, because maybe, you know, they can make more money that way. And then other people, they actually want to work in the country they're moving to. So I think maybe we could do a better job about that. And that's one of the topics on the summit, is how to find a job abroad. And then we also have opportunities abroad for creatives, because I don't think enough people see that as a pathway to living abroad. And I consider myself a creative. I've created an app. I've created and support, you know, facilitate community, right? And like, how do you do that for a living, right? Like, how do you make money doing that? So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Leaving the app. Back to the
yeah,
summit.
yeah.
The Expat
So
Summit.
I am if you all, I can't, well, everyone's not going to be able to see the pitches. You probably only see the winners, but because the vote, people who get to vote actually are in the in the summit attendees. The pitch competition submissions are so good.
Okay.
Our community
So
is so
slow down.
that's my favorite part.
You're level like 10. I need to take a 2. Okay.
Yes,
Explain
what the summit is.
explain what the summit is, and then what the pitch competition is, please.
Yes. So the Expat Summit is all about living, working, and studying abroad. The goal of the summit, and it's all about, you know, the Black community, right? That's the focus. The goal is for people to understand the various pathways for getting an international experience, right? Doesn't have to be permanent, doesn't have to be forever, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. But I want you all to at least have and open up the realm of possibilities for what you think is possible as something you can explore, right? Or even just getting dual citizenship. Again, it's a conference to open up the realm of possibilities for you and to give you access to people who've done it, who look like you, because I want it to be relevant, right? The pitch competition, we have 3 categories. That component was really important to me because my life goal is to be a philanthropist. I want to be able to write big, big checks, okay, for my community and people who are working towards, you know, causes that I believe in. And so one of the things I believe in is, don't wait. I'm letting the universe know that I'm willing to do this and I'm able to do this, even with a little bit of money I have now. So right now it's $1,000 for 3 categories, $3,000. But I'm like, okay, universe, if I can do this much with 3,000, imagine what I could do with 300,000, with 300 million.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get out there, right? I'm like, I am letting the universe know, and actively, without waiting to make $1,000,000 or have $1,000,000, right? That's just something I believe in life. Is like a good way to move forward. Like, you know, just step into it even before you are ready. So the categories are for Afropreneurs. So this is anyone who identifies as from the continent, you know, from diaspora, Black, African, or from diaspora, right? And who is entrepreneur. You don't have to have there's no following requirement or anything. A lot of people don't use the term Afropreneur, so some people may not realize they're eligible. But yes, anyone who's running a business, freelancers, you're allowed as well, because I'm just grouping you in with you're an entrepreneur just for yourself, right? So, and then we have community leaders. So when I think about the Stephanies and the Rashidas of the world and the Krishans of the world and the people who are running these really big, beautiful communities, and even the smaller ones, right, there may be a group chat, you deserve some recognition. You're doing great work. I think, like, I want our community to know what you're doing and to be able to be like, yeah, let's give them some support, because it is a thankless job sometimes. So and then the last category is so important to me, because I did not get a chance to do this when I was younger, but I wanted to study abroad. And you can study abroad at any age. That's one of our panels, is study abroad opportunities at any age. You can do it for high school. You can do it for college, which most people know about. You can do it for your master's. You can get your MBA abroad for much cheaper. You can also do for doctoral and postdoc. There is a world of opportunity out there through study abroad. And one of the things that our community doesn't realize is one of the easiest pathways to get into the country legally is a student visa. And you just need to be enrolled. I don't care what the class is. So for some of y'all, like, I don't know how to, go sign up for some classes. Make sure they'll qualify, but go
Right.
sign up some classes, go register. And sometimes you just need to get your foot in the door. And when you're a student, you also get some housing things that can be a little bit cheaper than for everyone else. So the goal here is to just expose our community to everything that's out there, but celebrate the people who are also already doing the thing. Because I'm just really like impressed by our community. We have submissions for someone as young as 18 and then older. So it's a really big range. So competition is going to be amazing. And we are going to be, yeah, it's going to be great. Like it's going to be hard to select just one winner for each category. So if there is anyone out there who is an angel investor, who is a venture capitalist, or someone who is just believes in philanthropy, we are looking and open to people to sponsor more winners for those 3 categories. So
okay, that's good to know. Thank you for putting that out. We always have to ask, right? Like
those miles don't get big,
right? Okay, but I think you got it down from like a 10 to a 6. So
yes.
let's explain. For me, pretend I don't know anything about pitch competitions because I don't.
Oh, okay. I can explain that. Okay, so pitch competition. So whenever it's pretty much you in a short window of time, pretty much saying like, why do I deserve this money, right? It's a competition normally for some type of acknowledgement, reward, or physical money. And the goal of it, the reason they call it a pitch is because similar to like when people say your elevator pitch, you have this really small window. So for expats pitch competition, people have to upload a 2 to 3 minute video and answer 3 questions. The first one is, how does your effort or what you're doing align with expats' core values, right? Community building, knowledge sharing, cultural immersion and exchange. And then the last one is social mobility, because that's a really big part. Not to get all academic, but social mobility is huge for me, right? Like, what do you have access to do, right? And then the other categories around impact. What impact have you already made, or do you plan to make? What progress have you made? You don't need to be a huge follower. Your impact may be, I helped 3 women find remote jobs online through my community of 25 people. I don't need you to be a big influencer. That's not a requirement, right? For your impact. And then the last thing is around purpose. Like, what are you going to use the funds for? What are you using the funds for? So whenever you're doing a pitch competition, it's some qualifications that they have, and they want you to pretty much, it's like Shark Tank. Tell us why we should invest in you. So that's really, if I had to think of a good analogy, it's similar to like a Shark Tank style.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still accepting submissions for the pitch competition?
Yes, but the application deadline is tonight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. And to be fair, please get in by the deadline, because I can't, the summit starts on the 15th, so on the 16th, so I can't extend that deadline.
Ooh, the deadline is the deadline. The change.
But 2 minutes, and look, you can get on your phone like this, and you can record and do it. You get what I mean? I'm not asking for
casual.
Yeah. But just answer the questions and keep it within 2 to 3 minutes. I had some people submit, actually more than one, a video that's 6 minutes. And I'm like, I should just disqualify because y'all gotta read. Because we have multiple people who are going to be doing this, so we have to respect the time frame. That's why it's 2 to 3 minutes. I don't want, it's just a respect thing. So
okay. So the judges for the pitch competition, is it like all the summit attendees? Is it a panel? Is it the speakers of the summit? Tell us everything.
Combination. So the way that the winners are going to be selected is a combination of judges. So we have 3 to 4 judges for every category, and in the audience vote. So both will be combined to give scores for each category. And the judges, again, are really great leaders in our community, because obviously, when people think about living abroad and our experiences abroad, travel is interweaved. So we have from Green Book Global, if you all know Lawrence Phillips. He's an exceptional leader. Out of all of the different founders that I've worked alongside or just been in community with, he's been the most helpful, always sharing opportunities and just doing a lot to lift as he climbs. So he's like that with everyone. Like, he's just a super helpful, and his product is great. Like, he has the Green Book Global app. So if you all don't have his app, and that shows you about safe places abroad, in the US, and I think he might have a few abroad places too, based on Black traveler reviews. So modern day Green Book. Yeah. And then if you all have met Anthony he's the founder of Eat Okra, and it is the app that is for like finding Black owned restaurants abroad. So he is really again, I just met him through Lawrence, but like when I looked at his app, and I found out about his app because we were both for a competition. We were like up for the Black Tech Achievement Awards. He actually, it was deserved. I was like, his stuff is so good. I was just happy to be in the category. But yeah, he's one of the judges as well. We have other community leaders. I don't know if anyone knows Nicole from Detroit, who lived in London for like over 11 years. And then my close friend who runs Student Career Studio. She's given over 60 something thousand in scholarship money away. I mean, just raising that on her own. She's going to be judging study abroad. And we have some other leaders that I've reached out to that haven't confirmed yet. So yeah, but then they're the judges. And then we also have our actual audience vote as well. But the audience is just summit ticket holders. I can't open it up to just everyone because I don't want it to be a popularity contest. Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, if you don't have your ticket yet, you can get a discount.
A discount. Because I don't know if the early bird tickets are out yet. We were at 48 last night, and at 50, that's when it's done. So we might
still last night when you were at 48 as well.
Yeah, it might still be 48 because people are just, well, no, US, they've been up for a while. So
people wait. Listen,
they're going to wait to the last minute. Anyway.
Summit holders, your tickets will go on sale right when you let them release them, and that last day. That last day starts, before it starts and the day it starts.
But it's a $70 difference. Like after the 50th ticket sales, because on the back end it's like a limit set. It automatically shuts that ticket off, and so people will have to pay the $199 versus $129. So I hope people get on the ticket. But this discount code is open. So yeah, it'll take 20 whether you catch the early bird or you catch the regular price ticket, it's the same. I mean, the 25 will come off. So yeah, it works on both tickets. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was available for early bird. Y'all need to get on that.
Yeah. And I launched tickets so late. Oh my! So I launched tickets like January 2nd for an event that starts. But to your point, people are going to wait last minute anyway, so I didn't feel so bad. Because I was on my trip, in my birthday trip, and I was like, I can't work too much on my birthday trip because it's my birthday, and it was a milestone birthday. It's my 40th, so I was just like, yeah.
I get it. By the way, fellas, y'all always saying, "How come ain't nothing for us? How come y'all don't do?" Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Men's.
Can I speak on this? Can I speak on this, please? Can I get about 2 minutes of vent?
Go.
I had to pull teeth to get the men to contribute and be speakers.
Really?
Pull teeth. It was so. Khalid, my best friend was with me because some of this I had to reach out to people during the so we had over 100 submissions for call for speakers. I couldn't believe it. And from all over. And so the summit has 60 speakers, actually more, it's almost 70 now, I'm sure. Once you add in the judges and stuff. And I want to say 80% were women. And I'm just like, I know that there are guys living abroad. It was so hard to get their feedback. To get them to submit interest. But then when I started reaching out to the guys I know, everyone's the same. They're like, oh, I'm just private. I'm like, you can talk about how to find a job abroad. Like, it was actually making me angry because I was just like, it's so important. I know our audiences are mostly women because I am a woman, but we need to have the male perspective because our younger men, they need to see people who look like them living abroad, doing well, being safe, being free, frolicking. I think it's such an important image that needs to be out there. So this is a call to, if you all have brothers, uncles, fathers, sons, I really want them to be more present in the expat space when it comes to sharing their experiences, because it's just really hard. Like I'm venting because it was just really hard. Now, when it came time to do judging, I got a ton of guys. Most of the guys in the summit are judges. Okay. But when it came to speaking about their experience, and we need to tap into like, why do men appear to feel less open to sharing about their experiences abroad?
But not to judging.
Oh, because you probably get a ton because you have yours is specifically for women. You probably get the people who are like, what about us? And
yes, no, that's what I'm saying. If you watch that, and I get, sometimes I show up and they're like, I'm here too. You're here too. Go to something that's made with you in mind, right? Well, not just for you, but also is inclusive.
Well, guess what? Now you can post them the link to Expat Summit.
It's always, what about us?
No, and it's nothing wrong. Yeah, like Yeah. Because
Well,
I get what I get is the what about us from people who aren't Black because
yeah,
they think like oh, your app is racist and all these things. And I was like, is it? Is it racist? Let's peel back why I have to have this space in the first place. Let's talk about it. Cause I used to be a little bit more polished about the way I would talk about this before, but after things have happened last year, I'm like, no, I'm gonna just be raw about how I feel.
yeah.
Reality is we all don't move through the world the same way. Anyone who fundamentally doesn't understand that I can't have a discussion with you. And as a result of our gender, the color of our skin, our ethnicity, any type of way people can identify maybe what your religion may be, you are treated differently.
Mhm.
You have different challenges, you have different advantages, you have different nuances, all the way down to the privilege that I have because I speak English and I'm from America, right? So I'm not, oh, woe is me, everything's bad because I'm Black. I'm like, yeah, life might be harder. I might have more challenges and less things just given to me. But I also have a lot of class privilege that comes from the assumed class because I'm American. So it goes both ways,
Mhm.
right? But I'm not going to sit here and not be honest and say we all move through the world the same way because even within the Black community, there is a class system
Mhm.
that no one maybe wants to talk about. But I'm not going to be treated the same as if people from the continent in Portugal. I'm treated very differently and I'm aware of it. I'm not
Mhm.
proud of it. I'm just aware that as an American, my class gives me access that maybe someone from Angola, someone from Mozambique, someone from Cape Verde may not have. And so when we talk about our experiences abroad being Black and we're all happy and all excited, we cannot dismiss and then not acknowledge that it's not the same for everyone Black.
No,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah,
It's
class
not,
privilege is a real thing. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
backing up a second to what you said before
Yeah.
about people non-Black people complaining about the app. Whenever I have men who are like, why not? You don't include me. I'm like, you can work with me if you want to in a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Here's the link to pay. They're always like, nah.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay. And I feel like the same way about the people who are complaining about your app. If they had to put any skin in the game, they don't
Oh,
want it.
you can pay. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Because
They want the free, like you're a Black woman, you should be doing the labor for them for free. And the
listen,
fact that you're not feels discriminatory.
can I say this?
Say,
I may get all the pushback for people about this free platform, but none of those people have reached out to pay for a ticket to attend the conference and get the knowledge that they're so desperately being excluded from. So I'll leave you with that. I'm not stupid. And again, what people don't understand, anyone can technically use the app. You think I got some type of brown paper bag test to tell if somebody's username is Black enough? No. The purpose is my app is pro-Black. So it means that the people who we are promoting in regards to featuring on Expat Chats, who are speakers, who are judges, who are panelists, who are going to be in the summit for pitch competition, they will be of the African diaspora. And the goal is to make sure that they're the ones who get highlighted and amplify their voice. But if my stepdad is white, if he wants to join the app and watch the summit, knock yourself out. Like, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not just because I'm pro something doesn't mean I'm anti everyone else. So sometimes people will message me like, there's a white person on the app. And I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, seriously, not to be rude, but like, what do you want me to do? Because they may have Black children. I don't know. Or they may just be curious. I'm not kicking you off the app for being white. Like, I'm just not. So I'm like, as long as you respect that space, yeah, as long as you respect
I'm kicking you up.
yeah, I'm just
Right,
saying.
like in the app, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, as long as you respect the space, like I'm not gonna go and try to figure out what race. I don't have the energy for that. What I'm asking people to do is to be supportive, helpful, share resources, and respect our experience and what we say our experience is. As long as you do that, I really don't. But the app is for us. You know what I mean? It's just that other people can benefit from it. Knock yourself out. I don't care. Like, so yeah, my pro-Blacks is not anti-white. I just have to make any other race. I just have to make that clear because sometimes people go real hard on people, and I'm like, you can't be calling people out their names and stuff because they're not the same color as you. You cannot do that on the platform.
Our space has always been for Black women only because we find that if we open it up further than that, the space becomes less safe. The more we open it up, the less safe it becomes.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for anyone to identify what what they need to do to create the space they want to have, right? Like
Yes.
we're allowed to have boundaries, but having boundaries as a Black woman is
Oh,
offensive to so many people.
yeah, because they're not used to it. And I also think, you know what else I really enjoy about you and Stephanie's, like the way you all present stuff? Y'all do not subscribe to struggle. Some people want this woe is me identity attached to all Black women. And I just completely reject it. Like, I'm not apologizing for having a comfortable life because I worked for it. And even if I didn't work for it, that's okay. So like this idea that we have to be in struggle, like, no, I have a very comfortable life that I worked for, and I'm not apologizing about it. When my feature came out years ago for CNBC, I got so much hate. And I was like, a lot of y'all are just mad because I'm not struggling. Let's be honest. You
Yeah.
wanted a story about someone who struggled, and then you get what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, and you didn't like someone who planned and did. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I nothing was handed to me, but I also am not. I'm not struggling, and people don't know how to accept that. I think sometimes when it comes to us, it's easier to accept it when it's attached to other women. Yeah.
No, it's interesting to be in this space and to publicly say, I'm here for X group. I'm here for X group. If somebody like listen on my channel, I'm here for Black women. If somebody is not a Black woman is watching, okay. Like I can put a button to turn off your YouTube, right? Like,
you don't have to subscribe. It's like, I'm here for the Black community and I want to make sure we have all the resources, but I'm actually practicing what I preach. I'm not just saying that. I'm literally doing the work. Like, trust me, like I care about our community. And in my heart, I know that we deserve these nice things, you know, we deserve these experiences, because when I think about like, I probably wouldn't be alive if I stayed in the US. I'm just gonna be very honest with you. And I will get super personal. Like, I lost my sister last year, and I know a big part of that was just to systemic racism and other things is why, you know, she ended up in a situation she was in with her health and stuff. So I mean, my sister passed away from pneumonia due to the flu, right? She had gone to the doctor, but you all know that they don't treat us the same, right? And you know, she wasn't adequately taken care of. And I know that, again, systemic racism plays a role in that. So like these decisions are big decisions because it does play a role in your livelihood. And so I don't take none of this lightly because it's very close to me to see the differences in outcomes based on someone choosing to, you know, live in the US, which again, I understand she has children and things like that, versus when you decide to leave. So I don't, not to make the conversation hard or heavy, I just don't want people to take it lightly.
right.
Yeah, because it is a big deal. Yeah.
I know if I didn't take my career break when I did, I probably wouldn't be alive now. I know that for myself, and I always say that. And I don't know if I moved back post career break, would that be okay? I don't know. But I know that like when I left, I had to leave. And for so many people, that's the situation. And so if we go back, rewind to the like something happens and people get that frantic energy, that unsustainable frantic energy. I think that's a symptom of people being where we were, right?
Of
And
course.
feeling like something has to change and
Yeah.
just not feeling like they have control over
Yes.
that change in that moment. And
Yes.
so having communities where you can go and you can sit and you can learn and process things, or events like the Expat Summit are really great opportunities to work on your plan. And
Connect.
as much as like, let's be real, y'all, I have a summit. I love my
Yes.
summit. I
Yes.
tell y'all tickets to my summit all the time. I have a membership. I love my membership. The members
Yes.
of my membership love my membership. They paying for it right now. I'm
Yes.
still gonna tell you,
Mhm.
if you can, buy a ticket to Shar Summit. And
Yeah.
part of that is that every person you hear speak about the thing you want to do is going to give you a little nugget. You can get a little nugget from everybody. You might get a big nugget, right? You might get a big chunk of gold from someone.
Big aha, like, oh, in Amsterdam, you for 5,000, you can buy the entrepreneurial visa. What? Like, that's a huge nugget.
That's
Yeah.
a huge nugget, right? Or it
Yeah.
may be a something smaller, but like maybe it motivates you to work a little harder, a little faster on your plan. And for that, I'm gonna say there's that's why collaboration is so important for
That
me,
is
for
huge.
Shar. I know, like,
Yeah.
because you one of the things that I hear that kind of bugs me is people say like, I'm going to move abroad, but I'm not going to be near, I don't want to be near any Americans. I don't want, or like, I'm leaving America. I don't want to be near anybody. I don't want to be near any English speakers. I don't want, and I'm like, you're planning on doing this either without community or with a brand new community who may not see you as community.
I understand the nuance of your experience.
Right?
Eat a soft landing, man. I don't care.
You are assuming that when you go to this new place,
they'll embrace you.
They'll embrace.
No.
Now, why would you do that?
Because guess what they may see you as? They may see you as a gentrifying American coming and raising prices on their housing. So don't be surprised if you don't get that warm welcome that you are expecting, even from people who look like you, because the other thing that happens is they're like, it's not great over here, you know, for Black people, because they're not, you know, and it's true. Those two things are true, right? Yeah, people get surprised. So when I see those, I actually appreciate those type of people because I know who I don't want in my community. People will literally be in an expat group and say that, and it blows my mind because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why are you in this group? Because this group is the energy of people who are American living abroad. So why would you join a group that you want to be far away from? My other favorite is I would never move to Europe. That's where the original colonizers.
That's where they started the slavery. Baby, you live in a country that to this day. Them firefighters out in the hills right now. What you think that is?
South Africa. It is. Yes, and from Mexico, them firefighters out there from all over. The other thing, though, one thing I just want people to think about, because that's one of the things that grinds my gears a little bit. Who do you think created the borders for Africa? So by you limiting yourself to thinking you only belong in the country that your oppressors created the boundaries for is one of the most foolish things to me. You belong anywhere your feet are planted. Our ancestors have built so many communities and economies. So I belong in Portugal. I belong in Zimbabwe. I belong in Cuba. I belong in America, wherever. I mean, I don't want to claim America. I'm just saying. My whole point is I really encourage people to think for yourself and to not put the oppressors' constraints on you unnecessarily. So don't limit when you're thinking about what countries you all want to move to, please don't limit yourself to just one place. Go where it feels good. Like, don't think about these things around, I don't know, like.
And I get it. Like, if you, there's a point to which I get it, which is like,
the earth is my turf.
Whenever I go to Lisbon, I'd be like, slavery. I pointed at buildings like slavery. No. You look at the buildings and you know, right? I get it. But like, depending on what country you're leaving, you can also see it in your own land, right? Like,
listen, at the end of the day, okay. Someone said the earth is my turf. I love that, and I'm stealing that. And hold on. So I'm sorry. Oh, someone said, are we speaking about buying property abroad at the summit? Yes, we have.
We're gonna come back to topics in a minute. But yes, okay. So yes, to answer the question, we're gonna come back to that. Yeah. All right. So, and the link is here. You go to expat.heysummit.com. Use coupon code SHEETA-D25. Get 25% off your ticket. This is not an affiliate link. I don't get anything if you buy a ticket. It's just a coupon code.
No, seriously, thank you. Because again, like, even without any type of affiliate link, you just openly, providing the space. I appreciate that because, again, like I said, not a money grab. The money is literally going back out to everyone. So, but it's something. It's been like I've wanted to do this for so long. You all, like, I've had the different parts of it written down in so many different ways, and it's really genuine, like a dream come true, because our community is so dope. It's over 60 speakers. Anyone who's ever put anything together, and they're from all over the world. I mean, like from where they've lived or where they've studied abroad or where they've worked abroad. So when I added up all of the countries, like the unique countries, it's over 65 countries you'll get insight on. Yeah. So, because we have people who, I mean, like Carla, she's lived abroad in, I want to say, like over 6 different countries. Like, we have some repeat expats.
Carla from Rose Apple Global.
Yes, Carla from Rose Apple Global.
I saw her on your speaker list, and Carla,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it was Carla who attended Exit Summit the very first year and said, "Woo!" Carla said, I don't remember how it came up, but she said, "Can I sponsor coffee for people?" And she sent us money, and we bought
What?
Starbucks gift cards. I don't know if we bought them first and she added more money to. I don't remember how it happened, but she
That's
sponsored it. And since then, we've done coffee every year, except for last year we did not do coffee. It is the thing I hate most about the summit. It's terrible. It's an awful experience. Don't do it. But it was like her generosity is the reason it became a thing.
Yeah.
But I laughed because everyone who's ever been to the summit knows that like I hate the coffee. The coffee was just
I don't drink coffee, so but shout out to Carla, and she will be blessed, abundantly blessed because of that. So one of the other things I want people to know, the energy that you put out there, it will come back to you tenfold. I wholeheartedly believe in just the energy put out there. When you're generous like that, it will come back to you. She will continue to be blessed. Like that's amazing.
And was like, what can I give you for?
Believe in what you're doing. People believe in what you're doing, you know? And when you think about all the different ways in which you can show support, everything doesn't have to be financial, right? Support may be, let me make sure my nephew gets this link to this summit so that he can attend and he can join. Let me tell my sister to sign up my niece for this, right? Do you see what I mean? And I know sometimes people are like, oh, everyone always trying to monetize information and knowledge. How do you the platforms that we use to share knowledge, y'all, it costs money. It costs money.
And they take a percentage of every ticket. So please, you're not getting $129 from every ticket in your pocket. Because I know what they charge.
Yeah, they not know because the platform itself charges, but even all of the back end stuff, your mail merge, your Zoom link, your Google, if you have like the professional Google, even something as simple as being able to stream, they charge you if you want past a certain number of users. So like none of this stuff is free, you all. And people are on the back end, the community leaders are spending their own money in a lot of cases to get stuff started. So yeah, just be kind, please. Cause I know normally I'm a little bit more positive in these open things, but I just feel like I'm going to be raw and open now. Cause after everything that happened last year, I went through a lot last year and I was just like, no, I'm not going out my way to polish everything for everyone. You're going to just get the raw. This is probably the best version of me. You guys can get whatever information you want to know, just ask.
And your summit starts in 4 days?
4 days, and I'm still working on it.
4 days before Exodus Summit starts. Don't speak to me. Don't. I ain't got it. I ain't got the energy.
You know what it is? Guess what? At the end of the day, this is the way I look at it. It's my first time hosting a summit. I'm giving myself a lot of grace.
Good.
Now, everyone else, because guess what? The speakers are set up. You know, the speakers are ready. We had our orientation yesterday. Had a little technical difficulty first 15 minutes, but after that, it was smooth sailing. And our speakers are phenomenal. Like, please go check out the bio speaker page. I'm talking about people who have literally like just digital nomad families. Like, and if you have ever traveled by yourself, the people who live abroad and travel with children, wild to me. Yeah. The people who have studied abroad, you know, from as young as 18 all the way up to like postdoc, right? People who have started their business abroad. We have the first Black Mrs. Universe as our keynote speaker, Juanita. Juanita is amazing. If you haven't come across Juanita, she is a trailblazer. She's a powerhouse. I mean, she even has her own show on Amazon about her and her family living abroad. Like, I need you all to understand the magnitude of that. The magnitude of her winning Mrs. Universe when she was living in Singapore. If you all understand beauty standards in Asia, where they literally carry around umbrellas so that they don't get dark, the magnitude of a Black woman winning Mrs. Universe, and again, not Miss Universe, Mrs. Because a lot of people gonna be in the comments, the first Black was so-and-so, Mrs. Universe. It's Juanita, and she's amazing. Like she does a lot attorney, lawyer, all the things, producer. Like, so she's opening up the summit with a discussion around owning the narrative about the Black experience, because so often we don't get to own it. And those stereotypes get put out there about who we are, and it impacts our belonging and how we move through the world globally. So yeah, it's a really, really great. I think that's one. I mean, I'm interested in all the topics. Oh, we have dating abroad.
Okay. Oh, so
yeah.
You keep passing me by. I went to the speaker page right now because I was like, I know we have some friends on the speaker page, and I'm scrolling, and Adelia's there. And
Adelia's one of my favorite just people to follow because she's practical. That is your sanity check, practical friend online. Like,
no, because she be in my Don't let her get in no DMs. That's the problem. Send you something, and I'm like, that's what I needed to hear, but I don't want that shit out my inbox. Why are you sending me something to make my life better when I'm happy?
Like, don't tell me how many calories are in marshmallows, because I was enjoying hot chocolate with marshmallows.
If I tell you I'm trying to do X, but I want to be X, but I'm Y. Don't send me stuff about becoming X. I'm Y. Right? Let's stay there.
Don't tell me that I will never unbig my back because I eat gelato every 3 days. I don't want to hear that.
I don't want it. Thank you. I know it's important.
Yeah.
I just hear it. Yes. I don't want it. Okay. I'll put that link back up for tickets because y'all need to get them. Okay, so Disabled Diva Eve is speaking.
Oh, she another very generous as well, just with information, knowledge, resources.
So she was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. Love you, Eve. You know that. So many of our faves are speaking. And so tell us right now, this is your time. Tell us about some of the sessions and what people are going to hear. Ooh. Oh, Ivana, sorry, before I get off there. Ivana, who spoke at Exodus.
Yes, as well. And she also runs with Adelia. They run a retreat. They run a retreat as well. Yeah.
We have Keena Williams, who Keena is the reason Exodus Summit exists. She's speaking too. So lots of like crossover, really great people.
To the person who asked a question about buying property abroad, that's the panel that Keena will be on. So and she's on like her second or third property at this point, I think. So yeah, just and a lot of people are low key, so you won't really know they're making these type of moves. Because I didn't know, like, until I was like, oops, sorry, talk to her. So oh gosh, it's so many topics. I will say some of my favorite ones.
Real quick, can I give you a tip as someone who's done this before? Girl, pull up the thing and just go to the screen. Just go to the page.
Oh, to the page.
Speakers all the time. I forget speakers. I forget sessions. I have to actually pull it out. And be like,
okay, so
these are the things I'm talking about.
Yeah, my favorite session. It's so many, you all.
They're all your favorite. They're all your favorite.
I can't pick a favorite because fundamental. Okay, the reason that these are the pickings is because those are things I thought were helpful. And we're doing talks afterwards that are a little bit more country specific. So this is the global summit. But when people are like, why aren't you talking about healthcare? I'm like, we're talking about living abroad with chronic illness and disabilities, but healthcare is so country specific because there's nuance. So that will be in the country specific talks that happen after the fact. But going to the schedule, let's see.
Before you go there,
the
country specific talks are included in the ticket price. Yes.
No. That will be separate because it's like it's going to be so many, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't want to include it because, like, let's say someone only wants to know about Portugal, but if I include it it's not a good use of everything. Yeah. So that will be separate. And a lot of people who reached out to be a speaker, even if you didn't get selected for this, is probably because a lot of people I'm reserving, because I want them to be the people who speak for the country specific talks. So.
And when will more information about those be available, the country specific talks?
I'm building the plane as I fly it.
As you have to.
And the reason I do that is because I actually don't know. I have data from the app about where our community is, right? I know where people are based on what they fill on their profile, but that's not the same as where people are interested in. So the way that I'm making the decision about the country specific talks is based on when you buy your ticket, there's a question that says, what country are you the most interested in? and that will drive the country specific talks, because I want it to be for the people who actually paid for the experience at the end of the day. You get what I mean? To drive the next stage. So I actually don't, I know like Portugal is going to obviously be one, because again, Mexico, I'm assuming Panama, and somewhere UAE. UAE. I'm assuming it's a couple places. I'm just like maybe somewhere France, UK, whatever. There's some countries that I just know like people are interested in. So we'll make sure we have those covered. And Ghana is another big one too. So yeah, but if you all actually, I would be curious, what are the what topics would you all be most interested in? Like, you don't have to be on the list. I'm just curious, like, to see what people like. If you were attending a conference about living, studying, working abroad, what would be a topic you'd want to see? In the apps, yeah, the app is for any, you can be aspiring expat or a current expat. You don't have to already be living abroad. It's a bridge. So you can connect people who are interested in people who are already abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell us in the chat what comments you would be interested in. Taxes in Portugal post NHR.
Whew,
Whatever
listen.
that.
I might have to, some of y'all might have to direct to Krishan, because Krishan is better at me when it gets to the stuff like this. She'll have an immigration lawyer, she'll have your tax lawyer. That's the other thing too. There's a Move to Portugal summit that Krishan runs with Our Black Utopia. If y'all know Halisi and Rick, they have a YouTube channel. So you know, and they were a part of Exodus Summit. Halisi was, right, I believe, and Krishan was on the previous one. So yeah, sometimes it won't be me, because I know there's someone better suited. And so I would more than likely just, you know, like, this person's better suited to help you in that area. Taxes are very specific and it's very nuanced.
That is such a great, I love when people can do the referral, because instead of trying to like hoard everything in, because, you know, there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, girl, I don't know.
No, yeah.
I'm like, ask Adelia. Adelia, no. I don't know that.
You won't be able to do all things. And so yeah, it's best to get directed to the right person, because for people interested in Portugal, I'll more than likely it'll be like Krishan is your go-to person, because she also does Nomad Noir, where people I mean, it's not called Nomad Noir. I got the name wrong. Either way, she does where people actually come to Portugal for their scouting trips. She does their scouting trips. So and that's a big deal, because yeah, the one she did last year was really good. Because I mean, I wasn't in it. I was just, you know, like at some of the events. I'm like, yo, people are definitely getting their money's worth, because what she put together was pretty phenomenal. So, and if you all don't know who Krishan is, Krishan from Black Sit Global, and her platform is called Passport. So there's so many resources, you all, like, I can't stress enough how many there are people who are out here helping. I mean, there are some scammers for sure. And I hate to say that happens, but I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say it wasn't some people scamming. But one of the easiest ways is like, the people who are the leaders in the community pay attention to who they align themselves to. I'll just say that. Yeah.
And we'll get taken too every once in a while.
I already know. And even for me, picking those 60 speakers, you all, trust me, my nerves. Because it's your credibility when these people are speaking on your platform, and, you know, they're associated with you. So just sometimes you get caught up in, you know, associated, just trying to be open and provide opportunity. So please, you know, but if someone's track record is pretty strong and they have a misstep with a certain association, please know that it's more than likely not the person. Okay. Like, yeah, because I know I can't. Yeah, it's things. Yeah. Yeah. So back into that happens. So yeah.
Okay. So they dropped a lot of topics they were interested in, a lot of housing, banking, starting abroad, business taxes, where to register business for ideal tax setup, study abroad after leaving corporate, digital nomad, healthcare, finding good rental properties, working in Mexico, logistics while moving, neighborhoods and cities within that country, banking, nomad and expat tax professionals. I have a tax professional coming soon to the channel.
Oh, please. Yeah, listen, let me make sure I'm signed up and put notifications on because I need, yeah, because the problem is what I'm trying to explain to people, things change. So when I started in Portugal, I was able to be eligible for NHR, which is the non-habitual resident tax regime that allows me not to pay taxes on certain foreign source income.
Mhm.
Because my company is US based, it's and what the type of work I do, it qualifies as foreign source. So I don't have the same tax situation as perhaps someone who I mean, you're going to pay tax on the US side. I don't have the same tax situation as someone who's coming in after me. That's why I can't always speak, because things do change. Even
Oh,
when I joined,
it
it's
didn't
different.
change for you? You're like your grandfathered in?
Yeah, because it was for 10 years. So
Okay.
I have about 8 more years, because I didn't get it until, even though I've been here for 4 years, sorry, the process, takes a while.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have it for a few more years. But that's the other thing that I think that's really important, and why people should attend summits and attend things that are live like this, is
Mhm.
because you want to get up-to-date information. Sometimes if you are just looking online, you may have information for someone who moved abroad 4 years ago, and their journey looks very different than what the journey for people who moved abroad 4 years ago looks like. And I'll give you all a very specific example. Within a couple of months, what happened. One of my friends here was going to her renewal appointment.
Mhm.
Mind you, I just did my renewal, did it online, no issues, everything smooth, didn't have to submit any additional information. Hers, mind you, only a few months in between us, okay? Hers, she had to go in person. It's really hard to get an appointment in person. And then, even with the immigration lawyer, they randomly added a qualification where she needed 10K funded in her account. I need you all to understand how stressful that is. Now, she got it, okay? Because our community looks out. But I just need you all to understand the magnitude of, like, how swiftly things can change. Not to, like, oh, let me be nervous about moving abroad, just to have a plan B, because you just never know. And then just because one person's situation went a particular way, don't assume it will apply, because one of the things I can promise you, especially about Portugal, it's going to deviate from the plan. It's going
Mhm.
to deviate from what's written online. It
Mhm.
depends on the person you get that day. So you really have to be pretty resilient when it comes to not just having one rigid way to get to your journey abroad, right? You have to be a little flexible, I would say.
You
Maybe
gotta be
resilient.
willing to pivot. You
Yeah,
gotta
and
be
be able to pivot, yeah.
willing.
So finish
I always say that, like, when you're getting information, if you're not getting information directly from someone you can speak to and ask questions from, like if you're watching a YouTube video,
from years
where
ago.
if you're watching on my channel, you probably can't 100% rely on a response to a question, especially if you're responding to a video from years ago. But you
Yeah.
want to watch videos that have been made in the last 6 months. If this person isn't giving you information in the last 6 months, don't assume it's right. Even in the last 6 months, it might be wrong. But like more than 6 months, assume that's
Yeah.
old. That's old. Cost of living, that don't exist anymore.
Oh,
Like
oh
just
my,
assume.
thank you for bringing up the cost of living part. Okay, you all, cost of living. Listen to me when I tell you it will change in a month. It will change in 3 months. It will. So someone will say, like, oh, I'm living abroad and I pay this much for my rent. And it's true. And you can come 3 months later and guess what? You're paying twice as much. It just happened. So I moved to Portugal. I was living my best life, you all. My rent was under 1,000. I was paying like 750, I think, for city center, literally. Fast forward, that same place. Um, when I went back, it was like 50. Either way, the price dramatically changed. Okay, you all, like, I'm not talking no little jump. I'm like, what? That's
Mhm.
insane. Places that I stay. So because I bought my place, like, I'm done with dealing with rent, but my friends are dealing with foolishness. Like, they're raising prices because there's a stronger demand. So that's the only thing about moving to a country that's becoming popular that you may have to think about, because what will happen is not only may the cost of housing go up, but like my insurance costs have gone up, private insurance. So
Okay.
this is something that most people maybe don't factor in.
Mhm.
Um, I love Portugal enough that even if it gets more expensive, I'm staying here because I really like, it's been such a blessing. Like, in the ways of community, I feel safe here. I love just the way I feel, like who I am here. So, like,
Mhm.
it can be side Portugal. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
But if you are moving solely based on cost of living, I don't think that is solely like, just be careful. That's all I'm going to say, because it can change. And you don't want to be able to not live there anymore. So it's a huge factor, but don't let it be a factor that if the cost of living changes, you cannot survive comfortably in the place that you're going to.
My rent went up about $500-$600 because the value of the dollar declined against the peso, and I'm paying rent in pesos.
Yes.
And so I go to my landlord, and she's like, "It's time." Like every year, she's like, "It's time to raise the rent." And I'm like, "I'm paying you so much more." And she's like, like she's not receiving any more money, so she don't care. She's like, "That's not my business, right?"
No. Oh, okay. Fluctuations in the exchange rate. Please pay attention, you all. Can I give you one specific example to follow up what you just said, Rashida? So when I was living in London, the dollar to the pound was the pound to the dollar was 2-1 or something like that. This is back in 2014. I can't remember the exact amount. After Brexit, it dropped to 1.4. My salary tanked because I was US salaried, but paid in pounds.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. So imagine, even if, let's say, I'm just giving out numbers, it's not my real numbers. Let's say I was making anyway, just do the math, you all. Significantly, like that's one of the reasons why I had to leave London, because I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna keep taking this hit. Like, no way. And the other thing is, right now the dollar is getting stronger to the euro and the pound. So I'm moving money like crazy because I'm like, I don't know when it'll be this good. I wish it was like someone's buying my house. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right, it's your turn. I'm going to step aside for a second, but it's your turn to tell people about the sessions that they need to be glued to their seat for.
Oh man. So one that I'm really excited about is the one Expat versus Immigrant, an open and honest discussion, because so many people want to argue about it. And I'm like, let's just talk about it. So that's one I'm curious about, because I have no idea how that conversation is going to go. Obviously all the pitch competitions. Most excited about the study abroad one. I'm excited about the dating abroad because we have people who really like fundamentally have found love abroad. And I'm like, tell us the prayer, sis. Like, what did you say? What did you do? How did you find your love abroad? Also interested in the one around mental health and well-being. I don't know if we talk about it enough, but I think that is something that folks should really get some thought to. Like, how are you going to manage your mental health abroad, especially if you go to your therapist in person and then you're moving abroad, where obviously that's not going to be possible. So I see my therapist virtually, and I've always seen her virtually, and she's amazing. But not everyone has the luxury of having a really good therapist that they can see virtual. So something to think about. A Liberty Leave. So Danica Nelson, she is Canadian but lives in Spain. She's doing a talk on how to plan a career break abroad. I took a career break. It was amazing. I took a sabbatical, and then I actually took a career break. So two separate. Both of them were life-changing for me. I'm a huge fan. You all know Rashida's a huge fan as well. And running a business abroad. So we have some really great insights. Anyone who knows of Crescendo, Dr. Juanita, she's the founder of the first food incubator in Africa. She's based in Ghana, but she's American. And I know she has some gems to share. So she's doing really amazing work out there. And then the opportunities abroad for creatives. This is one that I am excited about because I think it's a unique summit topic in the sense that not a lot of people really think that opportunities abroad as a creative are a thing. And we have some great speakers. A lot of them I actually know personally. Oh, and then Jay Cameron. I don't know if you all follow him. He's from Maximum Impact Travel. He's doing a talk about being a global citizen. So he just secured his third citizenship. He has American citizenship, Sierra Leone, I believe, and Ghana is the one he just got. So he's just going to be talking about that. So yeah, there's so many more. I know I didn't get to call out all of them, but Adelia's talk, because finances is always going to be important no matter which country you pick. That's going to be something that is going to be relevant. So and buying property abroad. So if you all are interested into insights, Nicole, she runs the she's here in Portugal, literally purchased a building. Like, it's groundbreaking to me because I'm like, what? Who buys a whole building? Like, she purchased a building. So she'll be giving some really good insights about what her process has been like buying property abroad. Kenna's on that as well, and underneath the web. Yeah, our lineup is really strong, and it was so hard to even narrow it down. There's a lot of people who weren't included in this because, like I said, I wanted to at least have some speakers left for the country specific talks. And then one of the other topics that I'm excited about is the returning home, the repatriation experience. We don't really talk about this part as much. So whenever you go abroad, you're not going to always stay abroad. Some people just go abroad for a few years and then they come back home, to their home country. And I think it's important for people to ask certain questions about what that looks like and how is that there's a culture shock that happens, and like, how are you going to manage that? So the purpose of that session is to just prepare people for who come back. I'm looking at some of the questions people are asking. The difference between sabbatical and career break. Oh, the difference is how you define it. So to me, a sabbatical means like I am fundamentally going to come back kind of to what I was doing before. I'm just taking a little break, of like a nap. Whereas a career break normally means, like, for me, is like I may not come back to this career. I may transition to something totally different, or it can be the same thing. It just depends on how you want to define it. But yeah, I've done both. I've taken a sabbatical, meaning I'm still tied to my company, the company that I was working for, which was Deloitte at the time. And it was actually a paid sabbatical. So I got paid 40% of my salary while I was on break for 6 months. And I volunteered during that time with a nonprofit that I had been working with for forever, pretty much. And then career break means like, I don't want to do this career anymore. I'm actually pivoting fundamentally. So that's when I like completely quit the job and took a gap year to figure everything out. And it turned into 2 years. It was phenomenal. So despite the COVID part, but COVID actually, gave me a chance to be still. So I kind of needed, that stillness as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another question that I'd love to get your response to. And maybe this is information they can find online. Nubia wants to know more about the pitch competition. Are they for speakers and close to attendees? She's purchased her tickets and was wondering. Nubia, Shar already told us that the deadline for the pitch competition is today. So if you're interested in
all of the
entering, what do they need to do today?
All of the info is when you go to the pitch competition in the schedule, you'll see the link to submit your pitch, but it has all of the rules and regulation. I mean, the rules and the entry stuff. So it's a 2 to 3 minute video. The people who are and you submit the video or whatever. And because we have people across all these different time zones, everyone can't pitch live. So we're actually just showing all the videos that people submitted during the pitch competition timeframe. So you'll see the pitch competitions for each category on the schedule, and we're going to be presenting the videos that people sent in. The people who are going to be able to vote will be the judges, plus the people who are attending the summit. They don't have to vote right then and there, because I know not everyone can attend the summit at the same time. It's a global summit. People are in different time zones, but the deadline will be by Sunday Eastern time, 11:59, because Monday we're announcing the winners. So that's how the process will go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are interested, the deadline is tonight, 11:59 Eastern time.
Yeah, PM.
Do not play around.
Yeah, and please submit. Don't count yourself out. Because there's no like following requirement or anything like that. Some people are like, oh, I don't have a big follower list. I was like, that's not a requirement. Why are y'all adding restrictions on yourselves? It literally just tells you what the requirements are in the thing. Don't put any other restrictions on yourself. Please apply. Because I actually like the submissions we have so far are excellent, and I'm like, I know there's more people out there who, and if you're a speaker or a panelist, you can still submit, because I'm not, what I'm trying to say. Like, speakers and panelists can still submit to pitch, because like I said, the voting is coming from the people who are attending. It's not like I'm picking the people. So yeah.
Well, while we were live here, the early bird tickets have sold out.
Oh, they did? Okay, because it was only 2 left though, to be fair. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, so I hope people don't feel bad. Like, oh, I'm sorry, but thank you, because again, it was stuck at 2 for a while, actually, since yesterday. That's
Listen,
yeah, because they have automatic
so,
on there. Like once you know how on the back end you set it to once it hits this number. Yeah, so I can't control it right now. Yeah.
So use this coupon code Sheeta D, Sheeta 25, all caps, Sheeta 25, all caps, to get a 25% discount off the tickets if you want to attend. Do you have to buy a ticket to submit to the pitch competition?
No, actually, the people who submit for the pitch competition, I didn't say this publicly because I didn't want people just submitting just to get a free ticket. But everyone who submits is going to get a free ticket. And if you've already purchased, then I will refund you, because I know that there may be a case where someone, they didn't know that. I just couldn't put that out there because then people would just submit anything just to get a free ticket. But no, the people who submit, and then all of our speakers and panelists, they also they're attending, but they also have a complimentary ticket as well. So if you all are in their communities and things like that, they may have a ticket. It's only one, but they may have a ticket to give you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the thing. Let's give away a ticket. I'll sponsor someone. I'll sponsor a ticket. Right?
You don't have to sponsor it. I can give it away, because this, like I said, you've been very generous with your platform. So how do you want to do this so that it's fair?
Usually I say pick a number, but I think people might hate that. What do you want to do?
Oh, I don't know how to do it to make it fair. Let's think. How do we do this? Is there a way to randomize?
Not that I know of on YouTube. I just be like, pick a number, and then I'll have you pick the number. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's do it. Okay. All right.
Because do you have the speakers on your, like the people who are on the live? Can you is there a way to put them in a list, and then I will just pick it, because I won't be able to see obviously the list.
No. Okay. So we're gonna go 1 through 100.
Okay.
Shar is going to think of a number and not say it. She can you write the number in the private chat to me right now so I can see the number?
Okay. Oh yeah, and then the first person in the comments who comes up with the number.
Yes. Yes. The first person in the comments with the number gets a ticket. So
1 through 100. This is gonna be
100. Everybody drop your number.
Okay, I'll put mine in, so she has my number. Okay.
I have her number.
Okay, you have my. Okay, I can't wait to see. Hold on. I feel like if anyone knows me, you should be. I mean, I know if you. Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, this is so fun. I love stuff like this.
I love giveaways. I'm always like,
this is so fun. This is so fun.
Okay.
I'm still looking. Pick a number.
You guys still have time.
You still have time. I'm looking. You can put more than one number, because it's whoever does it first, right? That gets the number first.
Usually I tell them only one chance.
Oh, only one. Nikita. Is it Nikita? That's the first one I see.
Okay. All right. Nikita got it.
Did anyone else?
Let's scroll up.
Yeah, just check. Did anyone else put 44?
I thought it was going to go to someone else who got close, but Nikita got it. No,
okay.
No one else put 44.
No, okay. So I picked 44 because my angel number is 444, and that was such an easy. It's always my number. Yeah. Well, I can't use the number anymore. I have another angel number for my sister, so I'll use
use her number. Okay.
I haven't said that one publicly, so nobody knows that number.
Okay.
Okay, so I can. What's the easiest way? If she just here, email me, Nikita. Or maybe we should email her so we make sure someone else doesn't email me saying they're her.
So that's never happened in my community yet.
Either way.
I don't want to ask her to put her
email
inbox. Nikita, do you follow? If you follow Shar or I on Instagram, say yes, and then you can handle it that way.
Yeah.
I see that someone had 44 after Nikita. Oh, okay. Nikita and Lady Sarita are like.
I can do, but yeah, I can do 2 of them. Yeah. No, that's so I can do 2, because I know that your Yeah, I appreciate your generosity, like for having me on the channel. I really genuinely appreciate it.
Thank you, Shar.
Yes. So can I get both of those? The second person, I didn't get your name.
Lady Sarita. Srita, Lady Sarita.
Okay.
So sometimes, y'all, it shows up in a different order for you guys. Lady Sarita, I see that you
Yeah,
said.
yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna make it. Yeah.
But for
Yeah,
us,
at the same time. That's why I'm like,
yeah, it shows up Nikita first.
yeah. Okay. If you are, but yeah, message me. What's the best way to message me? Because I want to make sure I get there.
Okay, Nikita's not on Instagram. You can email me, Nikita. What is my email? Okay. I'm like, what is my email address?
Yeah.
I'm typing it in right now. And then I'll make sure Shar gets it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
No one has ever, I've never gotten two people claiming to be the winner before. And so
No. So the thing is, like I said, the way I was doing the summit and the pitch competition, like I said, based on ticket sales, that's how I determined how much I could give out. So to be fair, the more money I make from ticket sales, we may have more to give to out for the pitch competition winners. But I don't want to say it affirmatively yet because again, I have to look at all the costs and stuff. But the plan was for this to be a way to pour back into the community, not a money grab for me to go make profit. Because like I said, I have my separate stuff that I do. I really want the pitch competition winners because they're so good. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just the only one who's impressed, but I just think they're really good because it was like people had a week. That's it, to put these together. So I'm really impressed by the submission so far. And I just love our community. So yeah.
Now Stephanie made a good point earlier that I kind of glossed over at the time because we were talking about something else. But you do good work for the community and you should be compensated for that, right? Like you've said multiple times that it's not a money grab and
no, because I get paid through speaking engagements and other stuff. So like I'm saying for the summit, the goal wasn't that, so yes. And I do think people need to understand because again, like for me, one of my things is the philanthropic piece. That is a part of who I fundamentally like when I look at my future and the type of person I want to be and the legacy I want to leave, I'm like, that is a big part of it. So I'm putting myself in a position because I want the universe to know like she's ready, so I'm ready to because I know that where I am today, it was due to the support of like I had scholarships to pay for college. My mom didn't have one penny saved for college because she, I don't know how she would have been able to afford it. Right. And because my mother came over from Jamaica, she was pregnant with me, had my sister, you know what I mean? She figured everything out on her own, like literally on her own. So like I was able to go to Spelman College all on scholarship, you all. Like that's a big deal. So for me, I know how important it is because sometimes people need an avenue opened up for them. They were academic scholarships, so I definitely earned them. But my whole point is like, I just feel like, yeah, of course I have to give back because somebody opened up the door for me. I wouldn't have been able to go to such a great school without philanthropic efforts of others. So yeah, sometimes you need that.
Okay. All right. So we have the names of the winners. We have tickets. You guys know what sessions. Look at the calendar, figure out what session you want. Make sure you get your discount.
Yes.
What are your takeaways from doing this summit?
Ooh, couple things. One of the biggest things that I want to know is which countries is our community most interested in? Like, I really want to know, like, where should we focus our efforts, right? I don't want to be sitting here doing expat chats about China and nobody wants to go there. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just using that as an example. Don't want to get banned. But I also want some insights into what topics are going to be the most pressing for our community. Like, where can I offer the most help? And when I say offer help, I am a connector. I may not be the one explicitly providing the answer, but I can at least direct you to the right community, to the right person. And I'm also using this to identify the credible people in our community who are actually helping and who have businesses that deserve support. One of the sessions that we're doing is around supporting local and Black-owned businesses. Ooh. That's so important. No matter where you live in the world, we have to, I think it's like an obligation, like we have to be supporting both local and Black-owned businesses when we go to these communities and we are acclimating to the community. So I'm trying to get an idea and a feel for like, what direction is our community going in? Where are we? And how can we best help? Like what can we do? Because I just want to know how to get more of us abroad. I'm like, I can't speak enough about not just from my experience, how it changes generations after you. I don't have children, but I do have my niece and nephew. And I think about the significant improvement in life between my grandma who first migrated over, to the US, and then my mother came over, and just how it opened up, like every generation got way more opportunities opened up to them. And that I don't take it lightly, the impact of your decision and your idea to move and what it can do for other people in your family. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I am. We're both children of immigrants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's so much talk now about like, I always smile like this when I'm about to start some shit. Okay, there's so much talk about like who qualifies as Black in America these days.
Of course.
And it's gotten, and for a while it was very inclusive. And I see certain people going down the line of making it so exclusionary. Like
I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying that the people who are first generation are people who are immigrants, like, from like, say African or Jamaican in America aren't really Black. That whole conversation. And I know why it's happening, because guess what? One thing oppressed people will do is try to oppress other people. It's like you start doing it to yourselves. They don't even have to have the chains on us anymore. So it's exhausting, because they kind of call it like diaspora wars. And I hate it fundamentally, because I do see us all as being connected. So I don't know how to say, like, we have different experiences, right? We have the sharedness of the physical Blackness, Black appearing, whatever. But there are so many nuances. We're not a monolith, and we definitely, like, we aren't all treated the same. Okay. Like, there's class, there's other religion, cultural nuances. So it's part of the reason why I want to have that discussion around expat versus immigrant, because it will touch on that. Trust me. Because guess what? People be like, why are you as a Black American called an expat, but me as a person who is from Angola called an immigrant? But we're both in Portugal, we're both Black. And they'll probably be like, I belong here more than you, because, my ancestors really built this place, like, so it's an interesting conversation to have, because it's super nuanced and complex. And I don't think there's going to be an answer that's going to come out of it. I'm hoping to just open the conversation up so that people can speak from an educated perspective, instead of just regurgitating stuff they hear online, about just like, factually, this is really what the definition is. But in concept, when you're talking socially, it could mean this. So, yeah. But how do I say it? My job is not to convince anyone either way. It's just to have an open and honest discussion about it, because at the end of the day, it does influence the experience abroad. Trust me, it does. And people need to realize that your sense of belonging is dictated by the narratives and the labels that are put out there, sometimes by our own people. So I want to have the discussion, because in my mind, I'm like, if we don't have it, we'll continue to limit the options that we see available to us, because maybe think we don't belong somewhere. I don't believe in it. I'm like, no, I belong everywhere in the whole world, literally. Like, I'm unapologetic about it. Like, I can move to wherever tomorrow, like, and feel like I belong. So these borders are man-made, you all, like, seriously. For us to limit ourselves to man-made borders because somebody woke up back in the 1600s or whatever, 1500s, and was like, oh, this is Mexico versus US, it's foolish. So I just don't adhere to that.
And our people have been moving to different places as long as they've had feet.
Oh my God, man, listen, first of all, if anyone looks up the history of migration patterns, please don't let anyone make you believe that Black people were only on the continent. Please do your research and look up places in Americas, modern Americas, in what some of the original people look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, but we're not, because we're not educated about these things in school. I think people's sense of belonging is dictated by obviously their upbringing, and so people don't really fundamentally always know or believe that about the indigenous people in certain places and what they looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing happening where people also think you can't as an immigrant. I wasn't even born in America. I am an immigrant. I was an immigrant.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Nobody in my immediate family is born in America.
Okay. I'm the only one in my family born in America. Yeah, my mom was pregnant when she came over. So
yes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't born here, not often. Every once in a while, one of them people will find my channel and be like, "Why are you telling Black people what to do? You're not even Black." And I'm like, when I go outside and a stranger sees me,
I'm about to say, are you trying to get a loan? Are you trying to get a cab? You are moving through the world.
Well, when I'm in New York and passing a cop, I'm Black.
Yeah.
I'm anywhere in the world. But so like having these conversations about who can have this conversation, who can be a thought leader in the space and who cannot is so interesting because like, tell me, like, I would rather you come here and be like, you are wrong about X, Y, and Z than tell me like, you don't get to talk to Black people because you're not Black. I'm like,
and those are the people you leave them where they're at. Because I will tell you why. To even bring yourself onto someone's channel, right? Because to be, in all fairness, as long as you're helping to liberate and open up, opportunities for people, why does it matter? Seriously, why does it matter? So those are people you leave where they're at because they are energy vampires and they just want to argue and bring you down to the misery that they're in. So while people want to sit there and argue, I'm like, I'm over here living my best life, eating my gelato and spreading good through the world. You can stay over there. Because I don't have, because even the people who they want me to convince them to move abroad. No, you're not a part of the community that I'm a part of. I don't, if you are one of the people who think that it's foolish to move abroad, that's great for you. I actually don't want people like you to move abroad because you're gonna come stressing me out in my peace over here. So like those are the type of conversations I actually don't engage in because I don't have the energy for it. So the reason we're even engaging and having a conversation around expat versus immigrant is because my app is literally called Expat. And you won't believe the amount of people who are irritated with me because I decided to create a platform called Expat and it should be called immigrant. I'm like, I've gotten that comment so many times, you all, and it's so
like every time like, I don't have this discussion anymore because there's no value to it.
Yeah. So
but that's like expat is a word that exists because it defines a subset of
temporary person, move abroad, like international experience, right? So some people the expats because they're temporarily having an experience abroad and they know they're going to come back to their home country. Okay.
I don't even have that discussion anymore because I'd be like, if also like if you want to be like, what is the actual harm, and let's address that. Because the harm isn't in who we call expat and who we call immigrant. The harm is in how we treat those people.
Right? The harm is definitely in how they're treated and the way that people decide on belonging based on your classification. So at the end of the day, expats will get way more privileges, I don't care what anybody says, than people who are considered and classified as immigrants, and most if you're Black and brown especially. So let's talk about it. And then
it's not the word that's making the difference.
No, it's like all the social systems set up around it. And I literally come from a whole family of immigrants, and my journey is very different from my mother's. So it's not fair for me to take up space
Mm-hmm.
Because my journey is I have disposable income. I have a hell of a support system. I also was well received and had a job before I moved to the country I moved to. This is when I did the first move. So like that journey and the needs that I have are very different from my mother's.
Mm-hmm.
So in all fairness, should I as an expat be eligible, right, for funding, special programs, and things for immigrants who may have a very different journey, right? Should I be able to tap into that pool since y'all want me to be an immigrant so bad? Should I be able to get a certain type of funding? Should I be able to have cheaper housing? No, let me know. Like, I want to know. Like, that's why I want to have the discussion. Like,
And that's why, like I said, I don't
yeah,
even engage anymore
yeah.
because Chanel said the English language is fascinating, but you can tell who's geeking out about linguistics and who's being a crab in a barrel. I don't. All the time, I just see stuff online and I'd be like, oh, I'm screenshot that and send it to Adelia because that's hilarious. But like, am I going to engage in it? No, because you're not going to waste my time.
Even what Halisi just wrote for our Black Utopia, I'm an immigrant to Portugal and an expat from USA. Both are true. Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, and I just think people don't understand, like why we have to, go back about this discussion. But I am very happy, and actually, Halisi's like my neighbor. Like we're in the same neighborhood. Okay. Yeah, here in Portugal. So yeah, it's just so many. Yeah, the conversation is very nuanced, but I'm loving the fact that let's just talk about it in open space. But we will be ending on a high note because we'll be announcing at the end of the conference. So that's the start of the summit. That's one of the first conversations, but we're ending with the announcement of the winners. I personally want to do like an expat versus where people can, not in a negative way, just be like Spain versus Portugal, and people provide, insight on which one they think is better. Ooh. London versus Paris. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of different New York versus LA, because some people are moving abroad to the US, believe it or not. So, just having those conversations, Panama versus Costa Rica. Yeah. Like, just so, because there are people who are going to be attending who they're grappling between these two places or these three places. And it's like, well, let's help them out. Let people who actually live there share information about why they would rather this place over this, especially because some of our speakers, like one of our speakers, Ty, she's speaking on, I think, advice to expats or something like that, aspiring expats. She's lived in Portugal and Spain with her family. So she can genuinely tell you which one is better, from her perspective, of course. So yeah, we have some really good, the panels they're lace, you all. Like it's a great, maybe lace is not the right word. The panels are really great. We have and I spent a lot of time going through every application, like literally. So just to look and make sure we have people aligned to, where they would best fit. So yeah.
How much sleep have you gotten in the past 2 weeks?
I am high functioning no matter what's going on in my life. I've said that 50 times this week because I'm trying to tell myself this to keep me.
You are Shar, you are high functioning no matter what's going
on. Because I am so excited. Like seriously, like I said, when you are walking in your passion and doing something that you actually love, whether or not one ticket got sold, once I started like seeing and putting everything together, people start updating their bios, the joy in my heart, like my sister up there doing her work for one, but also I'm like, I just love what I'm doing. Like so that's where the energy is coming from. Will I crash out on Tuesday? Probably, and probably take Tuesday off all client work. Probably, yeah. So
I would say give yourself, take the rest of the week off.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of like still trying to get that contract finalized. One of my best favorite clients, so I'm like, just weird timing. So yeah, I may have to be on, but either way, like I promise you all, like this joy is internal. Like I don't like regardless of what happens with the summit. I am so happy, like because I've genuinely been thinking about this in some capacity, like writing notes. I mean, I have notes from literally before 2000 about pulling together something, right? So it's really great to see it come to fruition. And I finally just pulled the trigger because I'm a perfectionist and I was trying to wait till everything was in order. And after losing my sister, my philosophy is very different on life, and I'm more action oriented than I am. It got to be perfect. I'm like, you know what? I'm now getting more comfortable with, I may fail publicly. It could be a total disaster. The technology may not work. Okay. And life goes on, I may have to refund everybody, whatever. I'm just saying, like, because or it can go exceptionally well and people can genuinely have their lives change. And maybe somebody, one of the angel investors, will invest in some of the businesses that I have. Like, I'm putting all possibilities out there. So, like, because even for our judges, like, I went out my way to try to pick people who were angel investors for the Afropreneurs category, because I want them to see our community and what we're doing. You know, someone who may not normally get an opportunity to get in front of an angel investor, right? And these are angel investors who invest in Afropreneurs, you know, and they're really good people, and they've been super helpful for me, connecting me with opportunity. So, like, just opening up those avenues, because I put this quote up, but I really do believe in it. It's like at any given moment, you're only one decision away from a totally different life, and it can be such a small step. And even a small step can be putting yourself out there for a pitch competition, getting some exposure. I think about the impact of that CNBC feature for our platform, because the platform is free. That came from doing expat chats and someone knowing that, you know, oh, she's in Portugal. Oh, she interviews people. Oh, CNBC reaches out to find out about people who moved abroad. Oh, let me connect them to Shar. You know, I had like 2 people watching those expat chats. I didn't care because I was passionate. I was passionate about, sharing our stories. So, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, just open yourself up to the opportunity and making sure that people are they know what you're doing. You know, so many of us sit on our talents because we're scared to fail publicly. And it's just a part of the process. I've failed on a lot of things. I told you my first app never even made it to the app store. Y'all have never seen it. Y'all have never seen it. I don't care. Like, you get what I mean? I used the lessons from that to get this other one. And like, you need to outsource the build of your app so you can focus more on the delivery. You know what I mean? And getting it out to people. So you live and you learn, you know. I mean, I can get off my soapbox, but I'm just saying, like, put yourself out there. Don't limit yourself, and do not. Our community does this thing. I see it a lot with the women. We like try to ask for permission almost. No. When I switched from being Deloitte manager technology to DEI advisor, you think I asked anybody for permission? No, I had all that years of experience that I wasn't getting paid for, doing all that extracurricular work at Deloitte in DEI. And that was my qualification and my passion and my lived experience. So, like, anyone out here watching this, you know, sometimes you really do have to give yourself permission, like yourself, to do the thing you want to do. Don't waste your time waiting around for perfect conditions and circumstances to make the change you want to make, because this life is short. I don't care if I live to be 100 years old, I'm going to feel like my life is short, you know? So do what you can do.
And it is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Besides you and Stephanie and like Krishan, I probably know what other people I would be able to take time out right before the summit, but I am such a huge fan of not just the work you all do, but the way you all do it. And I'm just really impressed. And I can't tell you thanks enough, because we get a lot of people into our platform from Exodus. Because, you know, we ask where you come from. We have 2 submissions already from Exodus Summit for the pitch competition, which is amazing. And they're good. So I just want to tell you thank you, because I know, like I mentioned this before, full circle moment, your feature was one of the features that really got me thinking, like, oh, this is a reality for me to take this break. And I remember reaching out to you about health insurance or something. And I know you didn't respond, but it was okay, because I understand now.
Woo! Every time you say that, I'm like, that's so terrible. But also, yes.
No, it's not terrible at all. You were living your life. I don't, you know, the same way
I was drowning. Who knows? you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, life always look like really. It looks one way from the outside, but who knows what was happening? Listen. I think if you wrote it all to me between end of 2019 to like end of 2020.
You was like, it's a wash. Like, it was actually, before we leave, I just want to say this, because I was on Exodus Summit, and at the time I did not, I hadn't done my MRI to know, because I had a breast cancer scare last year. Like, you never know what people are going through when someone doesn't respond or doesn't, you know, and regardless of how things appear online, you know, me showing my trip, spent a whole month in December in traveling or whatever through Asia, like, all that is true. and I was also fighting for my life, literally. Like I'm saying, like figuratively, the month before, like but it came back. I'm fine. It's just that I have dense boobs, like so. Even though they're small, they're dense, so it it's hard to see things. And they saw something that made them think that get this checked and all this other stuff, and so it scared me, and all this stuff happened. And again, you never know what people are going through. You all, just because someone seems well put together, seems high functioning, high energy, or whatever, you never know. I was in a pretty bad depression part of the year because of my sister passing, and it wasn't until a friend was like, hey, like, do you want to leave your house? Like, and she got me exercising, going to Pilates, which was I love now. But I'm just saying all these things and being really transparent because, like, just because you see people a certain way online, you have no idea like what they are going through. So just be gracious to people and be kind to each other, but be kind to yourself. Because I think so many people are like, oh, extending all this grace to everyone else, but not to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you again, Shar, for
Yeah.
creating the Expat app, for hosting the Expat Summit, for all of these things. I know that doing it, Stephanie and I always say that like we would not do this by ourselves. If it was up to one of us to do it, it wouldn't get done. So I'm so proud of you for doing this on your own.
We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm prepared for anything. Actually, I'm like, and if the universe wants to bless our community with some funding, please let it fall from the sky.
Yes.
Yes. That would be great.
You guys get your tickets to the summit.
Thank you.
I don't usually talk to y'all directly, but men, I don't want to hear you complaining later on that there's nothing for men. Get your tickets.
Yeah. And we have some really great male speakers. I mean, Jay is one of our speakers, and Cameron, he's great. Like he puts out so much educational things. So yeah, for the fellas, check him out and some of the other speakers.
Yes. All right. Shar, is there anything that we didn't say yet that that you want to say?
No, just thank you to the community. I mean, the whole point of this is for our community and like these really active communities, your community, and like so it's just really helpful because it keeps you going. I know sometimes people will message me like privately and like share how they've been impacted, and that goes such a long way because I was gonna shut it down. I haven't said this, but I was gonna shut it down last year just because of the personal stuff. It was too overwhelming. Because I was handling my sister's affairs as well, like the one doing her affairs, and it's a lot, y'all. I mean, it's hard, especially when there's children involved. It's really overwhelming. Yeah, and so those messages go a long way.
Okay, good. All right, if you're in my membership, we are gonna meet now, like we normally do. I'll drop a link to the live somewhere else. Nikita, Lady Sarita, email me. I'll get your info to Shar. You can follow Shar at Feet Meets Land and Expat Chats. If you message her this week and it's not
this week I won't be able to respond.
If it's not directly about the summit. And don't message her. Listen.
She said a week afterwards.
Your answer is on the website. Go ahead and read the website first.
Yeah.
Don't just go ahead and message it.
Yeah, please.
I know she has a lot to do.
Yeah, I do. I still gotta get some stuff out. We're getting the applications in, like I said, till tonight. So I'll be reviewing because I know everyone's going to wait to the last minute to submit. Yes. So I'm expecting a flood at 11:58, and I'm expecting the messages at 12:01.
You're going to get 12:01 message. You're going to get like
3.
You're going to get, I didn't realize it was Eastern time. So what about 12 p.m. Pacific? If you're in my community and you're here, don't be out here embarrassing me.
Yeah. Listen, if I see how did you find about the summit and say exits and it's late, but to be fair, more than likely I will cut off the link just because it's just a boundary management, right? I can't keep letting. That's how we got 60 speakers because
it's hard to say no when you get these good applications, right? That's how we had 50 speakers our first year. And never did that again because I was like, it's too much. It's fun. It's great. For us, it was like there's all this information. We wanted to give we didn't want to like say, okay, we can talk about X, but we can't talk about Y. Yes. After that first year, every year we were like, we can talk about X and we cannot talk about Y. There's just too much.
Yeah. So let me put it this way. Anyone who's this is the year to join because I guarantee you next year will not be this big if I'm by myself. I am working on internally I've already made up my mind that I want to partner with someone. So y'all just know, like, yeah, I won't be doing this by myself, but it also maybe won't be so many. But this was just the first year and like trying to get the fillers to understand what sessions are the most important. And we also picked the sessions based on the speaker responses because I literally just summed them up like, oh, most speakers. So this is a topic people obviously can speak to as well. So yes, it'll be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And you start on Thursday. It goes Thursday through Monday, right? The 16th through the 20th?
Yep. So if you all want something to put your energy into that maybe is a little bit more positive and forward, thinking and solution focused, join us. And I think it's going to be a really good time. But also come out and support the pitch competition. Like I said, when you buy a ticket, you're able to vote and to view the pitch competition. Our community is just doing some really dope stuff. I can't wait to share because it's just a lot. Yeah, it's really good. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share and for the time you're extending as well. I really appreciate it.
Of course. We, your family, everyone. It's one of those things where like Expat Summit can't be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want you there so you can help some people. I want Prashant there. I want Halisa there.
Yes.
They everyone can get what they need. Because listen, some people I know every year when I'm talking to Expat Summit, someone is like, I wish you would just shut up. Right? Because like I'm not for everybody.
Yeah, no, I
right?
know.
I
know I'm not for everybody because yeah, trust me, I read the comments too, after the class. I'm like, you shouldn't read the comments, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I try not to because
I try not because I have to work on my tone sometimes because I just talk in a matter of fact tone and it seems condescending. And I'm like, that's how I talk to everybody, including myself. Like it's just a tone that I have. I can't help it. I try, so not for everybody, but that's okay. You'll always find your people. So
yes, there's somebody else out there who can help you.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna say it again.
All right.
Get your ticket. If you're a man, this is a summit for you. There's space. There is space. There's conversation. If you are Black and you want to talk about moving abroad, be here. January 16th through 20th. Your discount code is Sheeta25, all caps. Yes. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for being here, Shar.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and we never really got into it's a condo, right?
Oh, it's a flat, okay. Yeah, in a unit with a bunch of, like I have 10 units total. I only have one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes, we never talked about that. So we might have to have a full.
You have to come back. Yeah.
After you get a lot of sleep.
Rest. I should be able to get some rest next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week I'll get some rest.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.